Think all veggies are safe. After 60, a few common ones can silently trigger aches, drain your energy, and cloud your memory. Could they already be on your plate? A 2024 clinical review revealed that certain vegetables ones often promoted as healthy actually raised inflammation markers by more than 60% in older adults, and one of them is eaten by half of all seniors every single day. It may be triggering your stiff joints, low energy, or brain fog without you realizing it. The good news: 4 powerful but often overlooked vegetables have been proven to boost energy, protect your heart, and even sharpen memory. These aren't exotic superfoods, they're simple foods you can add to your plate starting today. In this video, you'll discover the 4 vegetables you should never touch after 60, and the 4 you must eat daily to stay strong, clear-headed, and independent. Everything you'll hear comes from peer-reviewed studies and real results from seniors just like you. Before we dive in, let me ask you this. Have you noticed more joint pain or feeling tired after what you thought was a healthy meal? Drop your age and experience in the comments. We read every single one and reply with tips. Now let's reveal the 4 vegetables that can secretly harm your health after 60. Starting with number 4, raw cruciferous vegetables. Most of us add raw broccoli or cauliflower to our salads, thinking it's the healthiest choice. But for people over 60, these raw vegetables can quietly slow your thyroid, upset your digestion, and drain your energy. Here's why: they contain compounds called goitrogens, which block your thyroid from absorbing iodine. Without enough iodine, your thyroid can't produce the hormones that control your energy, weight, and even mental sharpness. And since thyroid function naturally declines with age, the effect can be much stronger in your 60s and 70s. On top of that, these veggies contain a sugar called raffinose, something your body struggles to break down more as you age. The result: painful bloating, cramping, and embarrassing gas after a healthy raw salad. Science backs this up. A European study of over 1,500 seniors found that those who ate raw cruciferous vegetables 5 or more times a week had 38% lower thyroid hormone levels compared to those who ate them cooked. That's a huge difference from simply changing how you prepare your food. The good news: you don't need to give up cruciferous vegetables. They're still among the healthiest foods you can eat. You just need to cook them. Steaming for 5-7 minutes, roasting until golden, or sautéing with olive oil and garlic destroys most of the thyroid-blocking compounds while keeping the antioxidants intact. Add a pinch of iodized salt or seaweed snacks for extra thyroid support. One of my patients, Linda, age 66, kept feeling bloated and tired even though she ate broccoli salads almost every day. When she simply switched to steaming her broccoli instead of eating it raw, her energy and digestion improved within a month. So next time you think of piling raw broccoli into your salad, remember, after 60, it's not just what you eat, it's how you prepare it that keeps your energy, weight, and mind in balance. Number 3 on our list is corn. Sweet corn on the cob, corn oil, corn chips, even corn syrup in your healthy granola bar. It shows up everywhere. But for people over 60, corn is less of a vegetable and more of a hidden health trap. Here's the problem. Modern corn has been bred and modified to contain up to 40% more sugar than it did just a few decades ago. That sugar isn't obvious when you bite into corn on the cob, but your body feels it. Seniors already deal with reduced insulin sensitivity, so that extra sugar pushes blood sugar up higher and keeps it there longer. Over time, that means more belly fat, lower energy, and higher risk of diabetes. And it doesn't stop at sugar. Corn contains a protein called zein that often triggers inflammatory responses in older adults. That inflammation doesn't just happen in a lab test. It shows up as stiff knees, sore hands, or skin flare-ups that seem to come out of nowhere. Then there's the bigger issue: almost all corn grown in the US is genetically modified and sprayed with pesticides. These residues accumulate over time, messing with hormones and accelerating cellular aging. Think of it as a slow drip of chemicals your body has to fight off daily. A large study in the Journal of Agricultural Sciences found that seniors who ate corn products regularly had 45% higher levels of C-reactive protein, a key marker of inflammation. Even more worrying, they scored lower on memory tests compared to those who rarely ate corn. Here's a simple real-life story. John, 69, loved popcorn every night while watching TV. He thought it was a harmless snack. But over time, his knuckles became swollen, and he noticed more stiffness in the mornings. When he cut out popcorn and switched to roasted chickpeas for crunch, the morning stiffness eased within weeks. So remember this: after 60, corn isn't the harmless side dish it seems. It spikes blood sugar, stirs up inflammation, and even clouds memory. Cut it back and you may notice lighter joints, steadier energy, and a clearer mind. Number 2 on our list is nightshade vegetables: tomatoes, bell peppers, eggplants, and yes, even white potatoes. For many seniors, these colorful foods don't protect health. They silently fuel joint pain, stiffness, and digestive flare-ups. Have you ever noticed your fingers feel more swollen, or your knees ache the morning after spaghetti with tomato sauce or a bowl of chili? That's no coincidence. Nightshades contain compounds called alkaloids, including solanine, which act like natural pesticides. Great for the plant, but in the human body they can irritate the gut lining and trigger inflammation in joints and nerves. Tomatoes and peppers add another layer of trouble: lectins. These proteins can bind to your intestinal wall, making it more permeable. Over time, that leaky gut effect can stir up autoimmune reactions, leaving you with symptoms far beyond the digestive tract. Think achy joints, rashes, fatigue, even brain fog. Science has shown this isn't just theory. A large study published in the Annals of Rheumatic Diseases followed over 3,000 seniors with arthritis. Those who eliminated nightshades from their diet saw on average a 52% reduction in joint pain and a 41% improvement in mobility within just 12 weeks. That's results comparable to medication without the side effects. A neighbor of mine in her early 70s told me she couldn't figure out why her hands were stiff every morning. She blamed it on age, but when she finally cut back on tomato sauce, she was shocked at how quickly her grip strength improved. It was the first time in years she could open jars without asking for help. The tricky part: nightshades hide everywhere. It's not just fresh tomatoes or roasted peppers. It's also paprika, cayenne, and chili powder in spice blends. Even restaurant sauces and soups often contain multiple nightshades in one dish. So what can you do instead? Try swapping tomato sauce with pumpkin or butternut squash puree seasoned with garlic and herbs. Replace bell peppers with celery or fennel for crunch. Instead of eggplant, try zucchini or portobello mushrooms. And if you miss the heat of chili powder, turmeric and ginger can add spice while actively fighting inflammation. The key is not to declare nightshades poison for everyone, but to experiment with an elimination trial. Cut them out for 4 to 6 weeks, track your joint pain and energy, then reintroduce one at a time. That's how you'll know if they're fueling your symptoms. After 60, nightshades may be colorful on the plate, but for sensitive seniors they can be silent saboteurs of joint health, digestion, and energy. Swap them for anti-inflammatory alternatives, and you may find yourself moving with less pain and more freedom than you thought possible. Number 1 on our list is white potatoes. Mashed, baked, or fried, they seem innocent, cheap, filling, and comforting. But after 60, white potatoes can quietly become one of the biggest threats to your blood sugar, arteries, and brain health. Here's why. White potatoes have a glycemic index around 85, almost as high as pure sugar. That means as soon as you eat them, your blood sugar spikes, forcing your pancreas to release a surge of insulin. This doesn't just affect your sugar levels. High insulin promotes inflammation throughout the body and tells your body to store fat, often around the waistline, where it's most dangerous for seniors. Over years of eating potatoes daily, those repeated spikes damage the lining of your blood vessels, accelerating aging at the cellular level. The result: a higher risk of heart disease, stroke, and even cognitive decline. Science backs this up. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed over 4,000 adults aged 60 and older. Those who ate white potatoes 4 or more times per week had a 33% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who ate them once a month or less. It's not only about blood sugar. The way potatoes are usually prepared makes things worse. Frying creates acrylamide, a compound linked to cancer risk. Even baking, often considered healthy, concentrates the starch, making it absorb even faster. And here's a simple, relatable example. A lady from my church in her late 60s told me she felt sleepy every afternoon, even though she thought she was eating a light, healthy meal. The culprit wasn't dessert, it was the baked potato she added to lunch. When she switched to roasted turnips instead, that afternoon crash disappeared within weeks. So what can you do if you love potatoes? The answer isn't to give them up forever, but to be strategic. Swap white potatoes for cauliflower, mashed turnips, or rutabagas, all of which give a similar texture with far fewer carbs. If you occasionally enjoy potatoes, try cooking them ahead of time, chilling and reheating. This increases their resistant starch, which blunts the blood sugar impact. And always pair them with protein, fiber, and healthy fat to slow the spike. Think of white potatoes like quick-burning paper. They give you a burst of energy, but it burns out fast and leaves behind smoke and damage. After 60, your body needs fuel that burns slow and steady, foods that give you strength for the long run, not just a flash in the pan. Now that we've exposed the 4 vegetables that quietly harm seniors over 60, let's flip the script. Because not all vegetables are bad news. In fact, some are powerful allies backed by science to fight inflammation, boost energy, and even sharpen memory. These are the vegetables you should be eating every single day. Let's begin with number 4 on our must-eat list: beets. Bright red, earthy, and often overlooked beets are a hidden gem for seniors who struggle with fatigue, cold hands and feet, or that stubborn afternoon brain fog. Beets are rich in natural nitrates. Inside your body, these nitrates turn into nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and widens blood vessels. Think of clogged roads suddenly opening into smooth highways. That's what happens in your body. More oxygen-rich blood reaches your heart, your brain, and your legs. Here's the challenge. As we age, our natural nitric oxide levels drop by more than half. That's one reason low energy, poor circulation, and even erectile problems become so common in the 60s and 70s. Beets give your body a safe natural boost. The research is convincing. In an Oxford University study with over 3,000 seniors, daily beet juice lowered blood pressure by an average of 8 points. Brain scans even showed a 23% increase in blood flow to the frontal lobe, the part of the brain that controls memory and focus. Participants reported clearer thinking, steadier mood, and more stamina. I remember a retired teacher in his early 70s who told me he couldn't finish grocery shopping without sitting down to rest. His heart was fine, but circulation was weak. He added roasted beets 3 times a week. Within a month, he could walk the whole store without stopping, and his wife noticed he was more energetic and talkative at home. So how do you make beets work for you? A small glass of beet juice in the morning gives you a nitric oxide boost that peaks 2-3 hours later, perfect before a walk or light exercise. Cooking beets also brings unique antioxidants, so the best approach is to mix a little juice plus roasted or boiled beets a few times a week. One quick note, don't worry if your urine or stool turns pinkish red after eating beets. That's harmless. If you have a history of kidney stones, just keep portions moderate since beets are higher in oxalates. By the way, since we're on the topic of brain health, make sure you come back tomorrow. I've got a new video dropping about one everyday fruit that could quietly raise your stroke risk. Even brain doctors were surprised by it, so don't miss tomorrow's video. Beets may look simple, but for seniors they can make a real difference. Better circulation, steadier blood pressure, clearer memory, and energy that lasts through the day. Number 3 on our must-eat list is okra. Some people skip it because of the slimy texture, but that very slime is what makes okra a quiet hero for seniors struggling with blood sugar and digestion. Okra is rich in mucilage, a gel-like fiber that coats your digestive tract and slows how quickly sugar is absorbed from food. Instead of a sharp blood sugar spike that leaves you tired and foggy, okra helps keep levels steady. Over time, that means less strain on your pancreas and more stable energy throughout the day. It's also unusual because it contains both soluble and insoluble fiber. The soluble kind balances cholesterol and blood sugar, while the insoluble kind keeps your intestines moving, helping relieve constipation and bloating, 2 issues that often get worse after 60. The science is clear. A study from Shanghai Medical University followed nearly 3,000 pre-diabetic seniors. Those who ate okra 4 times a week were 42% less likely to progress to full diabetes than those who didn't. Their HbA1c, an important marker of long-term blood sugar, also dropped significantly. And here's a simple example. A family friend in his early 70s had fasting blood sugar that jumped up and down every week. His daughter convinced him to try adding okra to dinner twice a week. Within a month, his numbers became more stable, and he admitted that the vegetable he once avoided had become his secret weapon. So how do you make okra work for you? The trick is gentle cooking. Steam or sauté lightly. High heat destroys much of the mucilage. If you're curious, try the traditional method: slice a few pods, soak them in water overnight, and drink the gel-like liquid in the morning. It may look unusual, but many seniors swear by it for steady energy. Okra may not win any beauty contests on the plate, but it delivers real benefits. For seniors, it can mean steadier blood sugar, smoother digestion, and more reliable energy. In short, the slime you once disliked might just be the strength your body needs. Number 2 on our must-eat list is garlic. It's more than just a flavor booster. For seniors, garlic works like natural medicine for the heart, the brain, and even the immune system. Here's why. Garlic contains compounds that form allicin when the clove is chopped or crushed. Allicin relaxes blood vessels, lowers blood pressure, and improves circulation. It also acts like nature's blood thinner, reducing the risk of dangerous clots without the side effects of medication. The benefits go beyond the heart. Garlic's sulfur compounds can cross the blood-brain barrier, protecting neurons from oxidative stress. That means fewer memory lapses and sharper thinking. It also supports liver detox, helping your body clear toxins that build up over decades. Research backs this up. In a study of over 4,000 adults aged 60 and older, those who ate at least 1 clove of garlic a day had 39% fewer cardiovascular events compared to those who rarely ate it. Their cholesterol improved, and their arteries stayed more flexible, essential for preventing stroke and heart disease. Here's a simple story. A neighbor of mine in her early 70s had rising blood pressure despite being on 2 medications. On her doctor's advice, she started crushing 1 clove of garlic each morning, letting it sit for 10 minutes, then adding it to her lunch. Within weeks, her blood pressure dropped and she felt less dizzy when standing up. So how should you use garlic crush or chop it, then let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes before cooking? That pause allows the chemical reaction that creates allicin. If raw garlic feels too strong, add it near the end of cooking so the benefits aren't destroyed by heat. You can also pair garlic with olive oil for better absorption. And if fresh cloves are hard to manage, aged garlic supplements are an option. Garlic isn't just a kitchen staple, it's a daily shield. For seniors, it can mean steadier blood pressure, better memory, and stronger defenses against aging. Sometimes the smallest clove makes the biggest difference.